Hi everyone, my name is Saurabh Pant, and as you already know that the NEET and JEE main examinations have been shifted to September, and as a result I am coming up with a follow-up video. I'll be taking NEET as a reference to explain you the things, but with a little bit of common sense you will understand how to apply that for the JEE main also. So it's a follow-up video. Before going ahead, I want to firstly clarify which are the things I'm going to discuss in this video, so that in case you have come for some specific objective and it's not there in the list, it's better that you should not waste the time on this video and carry on with the work you are doing, your preparation that you are doing. So I should be very clear in what I'm going to tell you. In the next 30 seconds, I'll firstly wrap up. So firstly, I'll tell about the conditions that you might be going through. Second, cancellation of these examinations are there on the cards or not. Third, will the cutoff increase? This kind of confusion people have, ki cutoff will increase or how much can it increase, etc. Paper will be becoming tougher or not. Who will be finally getting better rank? The effect on the toppers due to this shifting, what will be there, the effect on the middle range, effect on the lower range. This idea will be giving you a quick idea about this also, that how much your competition is getting affected, so that you can understand your relative position. Fifth and the last one, new strategy. So if you're starting now thinking that okay, if the NEET exam would get shifted, finally you have prayed to God ki God, if the NEET exam will get shifted this time, 100% I will study. If you are in that specific category, about that also I will talk about in detail, but if you're in that specific category and you're starting now, then already there is a 70-day strategy video being made. It's there in my channel already. I can post the link in the description box if you want. But if your task which is assigned to you is over by now by around 60 to 70%, that whatever the things I asked you to do, chapter wise revision is over, you are already taking the mock test, then just do one thing. Group the chapters, all the chapters of all the subjects, preferably chemistry I'm asking, group them as easy, moderate and tough. And then come in the next part of the video. So in this part, I'm not going to tell you about the planning and the strategy for those people who are already following a strategy. That means already you are going on with the task and you are writing the mock test at this point of time. So whatever I've told you previously, just carry on that. Just one thing, you can take one day off out of that schedule because you have time. You can divide your chapters as per the present scenario as easy, moderate and tough. Previously also I asked you to do the same thing. Now also you can do it again, and then come in the next part of the video. There I will explain you the new strategy that you can use for building up your concepts and getting a higher rank, boosting up your rank in the NEET examination of the September, which is the next tentative date. So without wasting any time, let's carry on. So dekho yaar, when the NEET dates were announced, already a lot of people, they were behind this, that the NEET postpone, JEE postpone, and as I already told you that it was anyway going to get postponed 15-20 days before, not before that. So all this ho halla that was happening for 1-2 months was completely uncalled for. But as soon as the NEET date got shifted, there are three kinds of expression people got. One, some people got confused. They got not confused also, they got little bit surprised. They were taken aback. What decision is taken? Oh my God, what will happen? So this kind of uncertainty came mostly in the mind of the repeater batch. Long term, as you call in South India, long term batch, or repeater batch as you call in North India. Those people became very much susceptible to this kind of thoughts, ki maybe cancellation is also there on the cards. So confusions got created to the upper class of the long term. Upper class of the long term means those who are preparing well this year, last year who have messed up with the NEET examination, and this year they were having a lot of hopes. They got a little bit taken aback because they were preparing good by this time and they are pretty not sure about their preparation, what would they do in the next 2 months. Next, some people were extremely happy, very, very happy. So bhaiya, these people who are happy, they are happy, so there is no problem about that means there is nothing to be told for them in this video, because if you are happy, that means your mindset is going well. You already might be waiting for this thing to happen. Third category are those people who are completely unaffected. There are two classes of people like this, which are utter topper or bottom feeders. What does it mean? So basically there are two set of people. One, the top toppers. They don't really care about, they already knew this thing in the mind, if the conditions will not be conducive, the NEET exam might get shifted. So they were mentally prepared and they already are preparing, and they are just like, there are 90% toppers which go in the robotic manner. That means whatever the institute will tell them, they will just do it. So whatever the mock tests are going on, the planning is there only up to July 26th. So up to there, they will not be overthinking about what the things are going around them. NEET exam date is shifted or not shifted. So they are least affected by that. Or those people who don't care about these examinations, they were happy that their board exam got shifted and they are cancelled. And they are very happy with the board exam being cancelled, and they are satisfied with whatever the NEET, JEE Main, whenever it happens, it happens. So they are chilling out. Those two people for these examinations, they are unaffected. So again, the main concern becomes this group, majorly the repeater batch, some of the class 12th students also. Why majorly repeater? Because some thoughts might come of cancellation, and they might think they will get the biggest drawback will be of the repeater batch if cancellation comes on the card. So let's talk about those people first. First question, biggest question, cancellation on the cards or not? Answer is no. Already I told in my last video also. Some IIT directors, they have come on record and told that there is no way that this examinations of JEE Main can get cancelled. So same thing will work for NEET also. Reason being very simple. Some people are thinking in this logic कि sir CBSE exam got cancelled na. CBSE exam got cancelled, ISC exam got cancelled, several other board exams got cancelled as well. देखिए यार, these are your exit examinations. These examinations are not entrance exam. Exit exam means, for example, you are in schooling, and when you will give 12th board examination or senior inter examination, board examination, you will end the schooling system. That means these are the exit exam. Whether you give the exam or not, as per your age, you are anyway going to pass those examination as per the age, if we say. So previous marks they considered, they gave you the exit and everything happened, that's all fair for the exit examination. NEET and JEE exams, these are entrance examination here. NEET and JEE, these are entrance exam. And just because the exit exam got cancelled, because this much logic you can also apply here. Cancelling the exit examination does not create any difference in the quality of the college or institute. On the other hand, if the entrance exam get diluted, that anyone can enter the college, the whole level of the college comes down, because that's the whole thing. IIT is IIT not because of the building it is there. IIT is IIT because of the people studying there in the IIT campus. Similarly, AIMS is AIMS because the doctors who enter there as the AIMS Delhi doctor, they qualify a certain level of examination, then they enter. So there is a phenomena known as garbage in, garbage out. That phenomena works very well for the institutes. So bhaiya, all these national level institutes which are working in the engineering and the medical front, especially in the medical if I talk about, so they can't afford to have doctors without clearing a basic entrance examination. So yes, right now there is no cancellation on the cards at all. Right now, in future also, it's the last final, ekdam forever final, last verdict will be there, then the cancellation will come if nothing else can be done in this world. That means a 0% probability is not there, but a 0% probability though is there of nothing. So bhaiya, understand that at this point of time, you don't have to worry about cancellation at all. So cancellation is not on the card. They have come. And again, some people might think July or it is not being carrying on. What will happen? Yeah, previously also around 3-4 years back also, 4 years back to be precise, NEET exam happened in July. Session started late. So it's not a big deal. Even if the exam get conducted in September, October also, it's not a big deal. The session can be shifted further. It's not a problem for the institutes to shift the session forward or universities to shift the session forward and narrow down the summer vacation and winter vacation. So that's not a problem. The problem is that cancellation will not happen, one thing. Second, some people have this doubt, will the cutoff increase? Because sir, now a lot of people will be reading, a lot of people will be focusing upon the subject now, as previously they were not able to complete the course, now they will be able to complete the course, etc., etc. So will the cutoff increase? Question is pretty big in itself. So देखो, many people, some of the faculties I also heard about talking, very good faculties also, they said that the cutoff is going to increase, and very confidently they said that. I have a different opinion here. The scenario is that some people on YouTube, they have said that the cutoff, almost everyone has said they are very much mentally prepared that the cutoff is going to increase. I completely differ with that. Totally I differ with that, with all due respect, because some people I respect a lot personally also, but they are also saying that the cutoff is going to increase. I don't find a logic behind that. Why? I'll just give you a basic explanation of why. So देखिए यार, these are some examinations. 2016 NEET exam, 2017, 18, 19. 16 was the first time the NEET exam was conducted. Before that, it was AIPMT. So these are the marks. These are the marks of the top 50% of the country. So you can understand. Previously also I told you that top 50%. That means if there are 10 lakh candidates, 5 lakh people got less than 145 marks in 2016 NEET examination. Talk about the last NEET exam, 2019. You might know that 2019 NEET examination was fairly easy, comparatively much easier. There also 134 marks. Also 50% population, that means around 7.5 lakh people were not able to get even 133 marks also. Yeah. So such a pathetic situation is there, and that is all because the major aspirants who are writing the examinations are not even in total 2-3 lakh also serious candidates who have studied properly for this specific examination, and still there are some people who are studying very good for the board examination, still they qualify very well because knowingly unknowingly they somehow prepare. But majority of the people filling the forms for this examination, they don't actually prepare, they don't have this objective in the head to qualify this examination. It's like a bumper bonanza. If they get in, they are very lucky. If they don't get in, they don't feel very bad also. I'm talking about this category. They don't really care about this exam. So don't worry about that, but our reference I can take. So if I take this reference, so 134 marks, 145 marks, these are the top 2 marks I can see. That means in these 2 years, we can expect that the paper was easy. Yes, 134 marks was the cutoff. Think about cutoff. Cutoff means 50% people, 50 percentile. So 50% people writing the examination, 134 marks came. Here 145 came. Acha, here in 2018, 119 marks. That means 50% people giving the test were able to get only 119 marks. So we can understand that 2018 paper was tougher as per these marks if we see. Now, scenario is that out of these all examination, it's not even my personal analysis, but you will see everyone saying that out of these 4 examination, 2016 was the toughest examination. A lot of questions were outside NCERT in 2016, phase 2 examination. Phase 2. In 2016, 2-phase examination occurred. I'll tell you in detail what this has to do with the topic I'm discussing right now, because logic will become clear as per the previous information. Now you can see these are the marks of AIR 1. So in the 2016, the All India rank 1 got only 685 marks. Sir, only 685 are so high? Huh, very high. But if you compare with the remaining AIR 1 marks, so certainly 685 is much less. Whereas in 2019, 701 marks, Lanil Khandelwal has got 701, you might be knowing, just last year topper of NEET examination, and 701 is the AIR 1. So we can understand 2019 examination was easy. Was very easy as compared to any other these 2-3 examination. 2017 was also easy, we can say. 2018 was comparatively tough. 2016 phase 2 examination was very tough again as compared to remaining 2-3 examination. Now I'm talking about chemistry point of view. So chemistry though was sufficiently tough. People say biology was comparatively okay, like just like the NEET level, but what the marks are saying is that 685 is the highest in that year. Ab dekhiye yaar, situation is this. Achha, 685 marks in 2019, you can take a rough estimate. 685 marks in 2019 was around 150 to 200 AIR. That means if you would have got marks equal to 685 in 2019, your rank would be around 150 to 200 AIR here, which is very, very different here as compared to what you got in 2016. So sufficiently tough paper we are talking about. Now here very interesting thing happened. 2 papers were conducted, if I remember the dates correct. May 1st was the NEET examination 1. And on July 24, as far as I remember, 24, 25, something, 22, 24, was NEET 2 examination. So what is this NEET 1, NEET 2? There was some political problem, I will not go in detail of that, but there were 2 NEET exams conducted in that year, before Supreme Court's verdict and after Supreme Court's verdict. So the last exam of NEET was conducted in July 24, and yes, the person who got 685, he did not appear in the NEET 2 examination. So the rule was like that, if you appear in the NEET 2 exam, your NEET 1 exam marks will be discarded. It's not like best of 2. So first, some people said in NEET 1 examination, then Supreme Court said to conduct another examination of NEET phase 2, and that paper came, chemistry came tougher. So now you can understand, this looks like the gap that people got this time also. Because these people, those who are saying that the cutoff will increase, they are not saying it today after this September shifting. They are saying from the previous 1-2 months itself. Since the first time the NEET exam got shifted, people are saying that 2 months extra are coming. You can see here, June, July. So 2 months extra are coming here also. 2 months extra, May 3rd to July 26th was also 2 months extra. Nearly same dates. Nearly same number of days they got extra in 2016. Nearly same number of days people are getting extra in 2020 also. Now, what would you expect is that the cutoff would increase significantly. And you can see here what happened. Bottom rankers came up. But how much up? Just 145. 50 percentile. AIR 1, 685. That means in phase 2 examination, no one got more than 685 marks, because if anyone would have got more than 685 in NEET phase 2, acha, this student has not written phase 2 examination, so his marks of phase 1, in fact AIR 1, 2, 3, I can say up to 675 though no one got in the phase 2 examination. So what I can say, ki after 2 extra month of preparation also, the maximum marks people reached were 675. Now, there is another theory for it, that phase 2 examination, some people say, are tougher than the phase 1 examination, which I can agree to. It might be tougher as far as chemistry is concerned, it is tougher as far as physics is concerned, nearly the same level was there. Biology also people say was comparatively easier in phase 2. People say that. Now, views will differ. Those who have written the phase 2 examination, they will say phase 2 was tougher than phase 1. Those who have written just the phase 1 examination, not phase 2 examination, they will just say that phase 2 examination, those who have written, they are becoming a crybaby because their phase 1 marks have, like those who lost some marks due to writing the phase 2 examination, like for example some student got 550 in phase 1 and later in phase 2 he got 510, so he will not like the phase 2 paper even though the marks would have gotten lost, maybe because he did not prepare well in the last 2 months. So this is what the saying of phase 1 people are. I have no say in that because I have not written any of those examination, and as a student point of view, which exam you found tough and easy depends upon what exactly you remember in the examination time. But yes, a lot of questions were outside the NCERT in this phase 2 examination. You might see them also. Gentile distortion was there, trans effect in coordination compounds were there, organic chemistry was also on the tougher side, agreed. Scenario dekhe yaar. Even if I take those 15-20 question extra also, then also the cutoff wouldn't have gone above 701 yaar. Simple logic hai na yaar. Even if I take 15-20 extra marks also, 15-20 marks extra also, because here also when 701 came, at least 3 questions in biology I am sure of which came not exactly from the NCERT. Then also 701 came. In the same way, if I take 15-20 marks of chemistry extra also, and let's say biology is coming of the same level, physics of easier level, chemistry 20 marks if I give extra also, then also 701 marks are not yet reached. So what we can say, even though people got 2 months extra, the marks did not increase much. Neither the cutoff. If you compare the cutoff of all of them, then cutoff is proportional to paper level and not directly proportional, little bit proportional to the paper level. So here, if people are saying that the cutoff is going to increase and you have to work harder than this, yes, you have to work harder. Because everyone who is getting time, those who are serious will work harder. But there is a limit of working hard. Saturation is a concept that people miss while guiding you, and this thing exactly creates a lot of difference, a lot of panic amongst the student. So dekhe yaar, you should know you have to read more because you have got more time. You have to read more. So what would happen? Let us see who will win effect on topper. So dekhiye yaar, effect of topper due to this shifting will be that firstly they will get frustrated a little bit because they are at the top, and reaching at the top is easy. Maintaining your top position is tough. So those who consistently were getting top rank 1, rank 2, rank 3 in their respective campuses in the test series, they will get a little frustrated that they have to carry on the same momentum for 2 more months now yaar, which they have done in the last 2 years. So yes, after 1 week or so, with the pep talk, with the teachers counseling, with the parents guidance and all, they will be able to manage this scenario after 1 week, and they will read even more. They will complete all the material even more concretely, and yes, the AIR 1 marks might get higher also. Like for example, X marks are expected. Let's say on July 6th the examination would have happened. Let's say X would be the highest mark. So let's say 700 marks would have come as the AIR 1. Let us say then in the September maybe 705 can come, because again saturation concept works. So understand the saturation concept. The concept is that how much you study, there is a specific amount of information your brain will be able to recall during the exam. You might be able to mug up all the things much better, but only a specific amount of information will be able to record in the examination, can get recorded in the exam. Second, I have seen a very nice scenario in every test. You give easy test, student score same. You give tough test, student still score the same marks. For example, I give a very easy paper also, significant difference in the marks did not come. If I give a very tough paper also, then also 10-15 marks up and down happens. That I've seen in the cutoff in every year I see this thing. So student have this kind of a feeling, I don't know how it comes, but this kind of a superpower comes in the student. If the paper level becomes tough, the mind start working awesome. Maybe you might have felt this thing. If you saw 2-3 good questions in the exam, good level questions in the exam, confidence boost up ki bhaiya today is my day, and then people start scoring good marks. Good means not better than the easy paper marks, but better than expected marks. On the other hand, when I give a easy paper, I expect that this time to bhaiya 180 out of 180 in chemistry should come, because whatever I have taught in the same way in the paper has come. Still I see people getting 160, 170 marks sometimes. Sometimes, most of the times also. So why does it happen? It is because when the paper level is tough or easy, it does not matter. Your brain has to perform during that time in the examination. So people think, though, what will happen? As the time of preparation will increase, 100% knowledge will increase. I am not saying ki bhaiya this will not happen. 100% the knowledge will increase. But the thing people miss out is that knowledge cannot be 100% converted into marks. So whatever you know is okay. You might be learning more also, but cutoff will not increase significantly. 5-10 up and down might happen, and that you will not be able to predict also, because paper level actually decides. If the paper level is of, let's say, 2019 NEET examination, then 100% you will see whichever the college you want to go in. For example, last year cutoff was around 580, for example, for a state government college. Then this year, max to max 585 would reach if the paper level is like 2019, but not more than that. In the same way, if the paper level is of 2018, for example, and the same college in 2018 was closed, let's say, at 560 marks, at 560 marks, let us say, then this year, max to max 565 marks will be there for the same cutoff. So significant difference in the cutoff is not going to happen. You can trust my word on this. I'm giving you the case study of 2016, where the students got 2 months extra. And if they wanted, they could have increased their marks significantly also, but the marks difference were not significant. The marks difference was not significant. Now you might say ki paper level became tough, falana dimkana, whatever happens. Arey, time was also more na yaar. 2 months time was also more. And even if I add those 10-15 question marks also, plus 5-10 marks because of the pressure you did it wrong, still you will see some saturation point will come. Similarly, in 2019, if the paper was so easy, like we say, easiest paper, then why don't people even get 720 out of 720 in this examination? Because whatever you do in the exam, some careless mistakes are bound to happen. So, bhaiya yaar, cut off, and that will not happen by 1-2%, that will happen en masse. So, that cut off, please remove this from the head, that any effect on the cutoff is going to be there significantly because of more time of preparation. Why? Because preparation works in the sinusoidal way. It cannot work in the exponential way. Ki more time you got, more and more you will study, and more and more you will do. Nahi yaar. If you have 6 months versus 1 month, so in 1 month you will be able to read much more with much more efficiency because you have a smaller target in the head. But when you have to read for 6 months, na yaar, you will start fast, then you will slow down a little bit, and in the end of the session you will start fast again. Think about, there is an examination, you all have done this thing. There is an examination, board exam was there when you entered in class 12th. So you read very quickly in the first 1 to 2 months. You are reading very well in the 12th class examination, for the 12th class examination. In the middle, you became lethargic. And at the end, when 1 to 2 months were left for the examination, you again geared up to gear number 5 and read very well. Same thing happens when 2 months will come. 4 months, I think you have got by this time. Still, in the beginning, some people read more, then they became relaxed. And then when the July was coming closer, they started reading more and more. Again, same thing will happen. You will get more motivation. You will start reading more. Again, you will become relaxed. And again, the same thing will happen. So understand ki bhaiya, the knowledge will not keep on increasing. The knowledge increases. And then when you are relaxing, the knowledge level comes down again. And then again, you will have to read. And again, the knowledge level comes down. So overall, the knowledge level remains the same. So do not worry about this thing that the cutoff is going to change significantly. You can understand how your brain functions, and if you know how your brain functions, this kind of problems will not happen. This kind of confusions people will not be able to give to you, that this kind of cutoff increase, exponential, falana dimkana, nothing like that happens. What I'm telling you is a research graph. Already this graph, many of you might be knowing it also. So when you read something, your knowledge level reaches up to here, and when you don't revise it, what will happen? It will start falling down exponentially as well. And then when you revise it again, it will reach up again and then again fall down. So eventually, when you are reading for 2 months, let us say, or 4 months, let us say, your motivation level will not be same throughout. So up and down will happen. So net resultant remain nearly the same, whether you are writing the examination on May 3rd or maybe September 13th, it hardly matters. This is what my previous experience has been, which might be contradicting to many people, but you can wait and check till September 13th also. It will 100% match. You don't have to worry about it. Second, will the paper get changed? Arey nahi yaar. Already the paper is prepared. Why they will change the paper yaar? Sir, but in the NEET 2016 a different paper came. Yes, because one single set of paper is not prepared, because you never know, na, paper can sometime be out also illegally. This kind of things can happen, and maybe sometimes like this scenario can happen. So they need a backup paper. So backup paper level will be different than the level like main paper level. Main paper level is cross-checked several number of times and properly is made. So that paper is made already. Fixed 45 questions are not there. I'm not talking about how the papers are made, but I'm just saying that the paper change is not going to happen because the paper which is prepared for May 3rd has not been displayed anywhere yet. So there is no point of changing that paper. So don't worry about that. Now, who will win? So as I told about toppers, what would happen to them? So they will have 1 week of restlessness and then they will come back to the schedule, because if they are doing something from the last 2 years very well, they can still do it for the next 2 months also. You should not be worried about that. The major effect will be on the middle range. Lower range does not get affected. Why? Because lower range was previously very happy कि यार May 3rd examination got shifted to July 26. Now I will study. Then what happened? Then NEET postponed, JEE postponed happened, and in the middle, some people left the studies and then they decided कि यार if this time the NEET exam will get shifted, then I will start reading again. तो भैया देखो, those people, they will never read. Now some of you might be seeing the video also and you will feel very hurt ki, oh, what are you saying, this will not happen, I will read. अरे ठीक है यार, if you will read for yourself. कौन सा तुम मुझे क्या चवन्नी ठन्नी देने वाले हो यार, है ना भाई? But the truth is that those who are waiting for 2.5 years to start reading, I hardly doubt the habit that you have made in 2.5 years. I don't have any doubt in that habit will not change in the last 2 months also. If you can change it, good for you. If you can't change it, anyway you are going with the same order that everyone goes. So those who have to read, they are already reading. They already have a momentum to read. If you are starting reading now, maybe that motivation will work for 1 week or 2, but after that it surely comes down. That's the bitter truth. You want to accept, you don't want to accept, is up to you. Now, but effect on the middle range is maximum. Why? Because they lost a momentum that they previously had. They had a small target in mind. And as I said, if you have a 2-month target in the mind, you can read very quickly. But when you have a target of 2 months and your mind was set with that, yeah, was just 1 month more, I have to work hard, and suddenly the target gets shifted to 2 months extra, the people get highly demotivated. But again, learn from the effect of toppers here. Take your time, no worries. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, maximum 1 week you want. Slowly adapt to the situation, because situation is this: everyone is in the same boat. Whether it is sinking, whether it is sailing, it hardly matters. Everyone is there in the same boat, and it's a competitive examination here. So relative ranks matter. So understand, these are not your competition. The competition is in the middle range only. Toppers are also not your competitions. They are already ahead of you. So don't worry that you have to jump above them. Because those who are reading recently from last 2-3 months, or maybe those who are reading from last 6-7 months, anyway, they don't want to be in the top 10 AIR. They just dream of it. They actually know that top 10 AIR is not a easier thing for them to achieve, at least in the 2, 3, 4, 5 months. So selection is what you want. You want to get into a good medical college. You want to become a good doctor. That's what we want. So for the effect on the middle range, understand, in this situation, the winner will be the person who will adapt to the situation faster. Some of you, this frustration or confusion or happiness or whatever happened to you, this all thing has to go off and you have to come to the ground state level. Whether you are sad or you are happy, in both cases you can't study. Some people think in very happy scenario, yeah, sir, yes, I'm very excited, I will study. Nahi yaar. When you are very excited, you feel like telling this excitement to others. You feel like sharing it, and you will be more talkative. You will be doing more show off rather than reading. When you are very sad, you keep on thinking about that. What would happen, this would happen, imaginary world you will go in. So when you are in the balanced mode, then only the academics can work well, then only you will be able to study. So that balanced mode will take some time to come. Now, the people who will come faster in that balanced mode will be the winners. That's the whole scenario. So effect on the middle range is maximum. Toppers will be able to come to the track much faster. Maximum to maximum 1 week, maximum to maximum, and I hardly feel that more than 1 to 2 days will be required. Once if I have a conversation with my topper batch, I think within 1 or 2 days they will get motivated again to read. But the middle range people are those who think a lot by themselves. So understand, talk to your parents, talk to your teachers, talk to some people, so that you exit out all the things which are going on in the head. And once all those things come out in the form of words, or you write it down somewhere, so what will happen? All these things, all these confusions, clarity will come out of it. once you say it out loud. So talk to your parents, talk to your teachers. Parents are available at home thanks to the lockdown. Use them properly, yaar. And I'm actually using the word use, but theek hai yaar, kya kar sakte. So talk to your parents and get this thing out of your head. You'll be back to the track, you'll be back to the balanced area, and then start working again. So adapt as soon as possible. Best way of adaptation, talk. Talk, express your feeling, tell whatever is going on in the head, and be brutally honest. The more honest you will be, the faster you will be able to adapt to this situation. Next, new strategy. As I said, if you are starting new, if you are in this range, effect on the lower range, and you are deciding nahi sir, this exam guarantee sir I will prove you wrong, I'll be more than happy if you can prove me wrong. For next year I will have one exception ki dekho yaar beta, generally to this does not happen, but last year this XYZ student has done this wonder that she started in the last, or he started in the last 2 months or 3 months, and still he qualified or she qualified for the NEET examination. I would love to do that. So in case you are in that category, there is a 70-day strategy video given at the description box of this video. Refer to that and you will be able to understand what you have to do. There is a detailed strategy also. Now in the next few set of videos I'll be talking about this part more. I'll be telling you some additional topics which are not there in the detailed previous chapter by chapter. I gave a detailed analysis of which topic to read, which topic is not necessary to be read. I will add up some 4 or 5 topics more because you have time, you'll be able to do them if you have done up to here. But all those detail, which topics to be added extra, what strategy we should use, for that I'm not telling in this video, but for that group your chapters as easy, moderate, tough, and come in the next video and check what your strategy should be. I hope I'm able to clarify all your doubts which were going on in the head. If something new, some other doubts are there in the head and you want to make them clarified, you can post in the comment box. I will try to reply as many people as possible, except the last 4 or 5 days I had been a little bit busy in other activities also, so I might not be able to reply all of you in the last 3 or 4 days, but whatever the comments come, I somehow try to reply to them. So if you have any query out of these things, please post. I'll be able to tell you much better. That's all from my side. Thank you so much.